Hey everybody, welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. Riverbend Springs, Scratch Start, episode 44. Right, as I predicted, the soccer ball has fallen off the tree and either landed here because this is where the tree was, which I don't remember, or maybe the tree was back here a little more and it rolled off the roof. Either way, we now perpetually have a loose soccer ball in the yard. It is still December, because I was just interested in what the soccer ball was going to do. So interested in fact that I ran over here without doing my usual evening sleep. We are going to move on to January now, and in January there's no planting to do. There will be a little bit of animal maintenance in the form of making sure the eggs are clear. Not really any great contracts to do, but we will actually be wanting to sell our bread in January. We go look at the main bit. Bread should go up a little bit, or at least nearly stay the same for January. We sold our canola oil. That's why we've got the money. We're not going to be selling any flour or grass or raw oats. We might possibly sell some planks, long and beams. But beyond that, that's pretty much everything. Wood chips. We will be selling wood chips. Although rather than packaging them up, I'm probably just going to dump them into my heating plant over here. Although I don't think I have enough conveyor to convey them, but I don't think there'll be that many either. So it all ought to be good. So right, we're going to move on into January and actually accomplish all this. And January it is. Let's just have a look at the sale. Still kind of thinking about what we're going to do with our money. We don't need a forage mixer. This is actually a pretty decent trailer. But it's a forage wagon, not a trailer. And we're not doing Nexat this season, this series. And we don't need a sugarcane trailer or a potato planter. So that's out of the running. What's in the running is quite possibly a new windrowing setup and the purchase of maybe field 2 for grass. That is quite possibly something to do. That would give us a lot of grass and silage, and yeah, make things a bit better. So let's go have a look. First of all, at our wood chips. I think we have a few enough that it'll only be a couple of trailer loads. For our purposes, given that we've only been running this sawmill for a couple of months. Right, as I said, not many, 9,000, so not going to make us a whole lot of money. And we didn't get our oats in to be making flour, so the bread are very what was it, June, July, something like that. So that's also not going to be much of a thing. Not going to be a massive amount of money. Although it might be enough for us. We should be able to... No? Can we not sell wood chips to this? Oh, yes we can. There we go. Yeah, this is our sell point for wood chips. Not bad. It's basically $1 a liter, give or take. Which, as I said, not bad at all. And we'll just stash this guy over here for now. We'll go hook up and put food in for the chickens, although I doubt they need it much of it at all. And yeah, May is wool. We're not worried about that. Well, that dumps. Shouldn't be much. We can look in here. Yeah, we're going to want to pull some eggs out and get that done. Then we can go load all the wood and all of that. And we can probably just move on to February from here. Not a lot to do. The contracts that do exist are not exactly ones I want to do. And we're not so desperate for money where plowing looks good. I think we can get away with just moving these two. These two pallets. Now, yeah, and as usual, there we go. Right, we do want to go see and make sure that that our wool is good, and we don't need to move that. We'll drive over there. Being lazy today. We've got at least a couple more months before we need to move wool out of the way. So the final bit is to see about the sawmill. Oh, well, not quite the final bit. We still have to sell the bread. But we'll do the wood first. Get that out of the way. I mean, we could technically just leave the wood for a month. Well, we got 6. You know what? Let's let that fill up more. Let's go do the bread. The wood's an anytime thing, and if I decide suddenly during this episode to buy something big, we can for sure sell the wood to fill in what we need if we need it. But at the moment we don't. We will check on the field real quick just to make sure we haven't missed anything major. Just weeds in that guy, yep. And that's always going to be needs rolling. Yep. Pretty good on pH everywhere. And pretty good on nitrogen everywhere. Those guys, that red is actually good for the grass. So yes, we could buy field 2 for grass. We could also buy 11 and 12 or 84. I had talked about buying 84 previously. 84 is not a bad one for silage. We get 3.9 hectares, or we get 2.62 hectares. This one's actually closer. That's still quite the possibility. Now, I don't feel any need to own a combine as of yet. There's one crop that uses the combine that can't be done with the swather. Now, I like the swathing the way it is because we just pick it up and roll it out. We could get the Macdon swathing set up, but then we have to go back and pick up the all the bits, right? We have to go back and pick it up because we end up needing to bale the hay rather than just having the hay right there in the thing for us. So there's not a whole lot of reason to go with the Macdon setup since we already have it all good. And we're actually going to lower, oops, that's not what I wanted. We're going to lower our trailer and get our bread loaded up. I don't think we need that much, but I'm going to get it all loaded up and I'll talk to you in a minute. Alright, we're just one trailer load this time. Hopefully we can keep it going a little more in the future. Bread is a big one for making money from our grains. Come on now. There we go. And this thing is invaluable. It's just, I'm really glad I got it and put it here, even if I only use it once a year. Those are really good. Ah, that always gets set. There we go. Although I don't want to park there again because that was a little wonky. So let's take a look at what our bread is going to sell, well, where we're going to sell it, which will incidentally also tell us what we're going to sell it for. Well, that's unfortunate, but it's not too far off. Small kiosk seems actually like the place to go. So we're going to do that because that's right at our farm and not all the way across the map. It's right down here around the corner, in fact. So, not too bad actually. 100K. Wow, we might even be able to flip a low loader here if we really try. 100K for the bread puts us up into the 470K range. Now we go over here. I keep claiming I'm going to take that tree down. And we actually need wood. So maybe now's the time to do it. Because that will make this process a lot nicer. So we're just going to get it as low as we can. And knock this tree over. And hopefully it falls the way I'm intending it to fall, and we can just drag it away in a bit. We do still want to get wood into our sawmills and you have to cut trees down to do that. Okay, he is going to fall the proper way. Perfect. And hopefully that will be enough extra room as is. Of course, we can't get the whole batch in all at once, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, typical for us, 3K environmental bonus. 488. Not bad. What's your problem, bro? Okay, well that makes things a little weirder, but still okay. Still okay. And we will want this over there for the wood, because that will be the next thing we use this trailer for when we when it comes time. So we'll just stash him here. And oh, I still have to go get that. Still haven't gotten that tractor and header back. Where do we leave that guy? Over there. Okay, so we gotta go get this, and I think that tree's gonna have to be cut up and brought in two piles, which is fine because we can cut enough off to feed that sawmill. Although I'm surprised that guy's not rolling more. Where's the... Oh, the planks are being sold. That's what the deal is. Okay, that makes sense. And that's got 7 out of 14, so we need to give it a bit more for sure. Although 7's good enough for at least a month or two. And I think what we're going to want to do is go around the corner here rather than try to drag this all in one. Yeah, 8.9. We've got to cut this guy at least in half, but half by weight, not half by length. We don't encounter any major issues dragging this around. Now we could spend January mowing and all of that. I think we'll bring this half over to this sawmill and just get it filled up, assuming this doesn't take more than... If it doesn't fit in there, I'm just going to drive it over to the other one. And look, it doesn't fit in there. Okay, well, like I said, we've got a couple of months. I'm pretty sure it will fit in the bigger sawmill. And we'll be okay. One thing we kind of need is a bigger trailer. We could really go for a bigger trailer. Right, we're not even going to be able to fit the rest of that tree in there, so there's not really any point in dragging it over here right now. I'm sure I'll remember to go get it. I'm sure. 100%. I'm liking the new shed. Kind of makes me think maybe a small shed over here would be a good thing to do as well. We could keep a couple of things in it and not worry too much. Right. Now, what did I say? We're not going to sell the wood this month unless we desperately need something. We could buy field 2 and then do it. We could also buy this field, turn it into grass, and then own this whole set. That might actually be... It's smaller. It looks like it's got nothing in it. Needs lime, not a big deal. Then we'd at least own this whole patch. Actually, if we just bought this guy, fairly expensive, but not too terribly expensive. We bought this guy. Right, then we have this whole patch. We might still be able to buy this guy, 157. Yep. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna put grass on here. I'm not sure what else we should put. And you know, I think I might dispense with my own soil sampling. I think I might just buy the samples. No tram lines. Okay, we gotta use a deep cultivation technique such as a plow in order to actually get rid of the tram lines, though. So, you know, it's not actually that expensive. No tram lines. Buy the soil. You only need to do it once in a while. Just making sure that none of these guys have that stuff on them. Right. So we need to get pH, maybe not so bad. We gotta plow them anyway. But yeah, none of these guys actually need lime, even though it kind of says they do on here. So I think that's an oversight of the precision farming thing. But they all do need fertilization. So we're going to fertilize them. And then we're going to plow all 3 of them to kill the tram lines. That's going to reduce we're going to be working the soil extra, but so that'll reduce our environmental score, I think. But that will get rid of the tram lines and make sure the entire field is useful. And we've got a decent amount of fertilizer in here. So let's get to work on that. And while we're plowing, we can extend this field out a bit. Still with that weird spot where it looks like it didn't apply, but that's just how it works. Or at least that appears to be how it works. Alright, well, we've got that fertilized, as fertilized as it's going to fertilize. And then we need to go down and hit up field 9? Yeah, field 9. I don't believe any of these have anything planted on them, so that's cool. And I will get this right at some point. About right there. Yeah. Right, well, you get the idea. I'll see when this is done. Alright, well, that's fertilized. All 3 new fields are fertilized. Question is, what do we do with them? I think grass on that one for sure. Possibly cow pasture at some point. All 3 of these are actually nice and flat. That one feels kind of like maybe it should be grass too, so that we can up our silage production. But I am going to hit them with lime just to make sure. Or I'm going to start to hit them with lime. I did just spend 20 grand on fertilizer. And it might be nice to have a storage tank. Instead of spitting them all out on the ground. But we are going to go attempt to lime these guys. Whether it actually works or not, I don't know. I don't believe that the needs lime marker when you look directly at the field is actually true with precision farming enabled. I think it might just be a leftover function that they didn't properly remove. But we'll get more lime now. Oh, come on then. And then we'll go lime up 9, assuming it even needs it. And we'll see. So, as we can see, this guy is pretty much solid. Maybe a few spots could use a little more, but I don't even know if it'll let us. Okay, it is applying lime, and it apparently does need it, so we will do it. And of course we've got the little triangle. Now we could sell this and that And we very well may do so. But right, we're going to lime up the rest of these guys. I'm going to stick with you here for... You can stick with me for this one because I want to see if it still says needs lime or whether it needed lime. Is it? It did need a little bit of lime. And you know, one piece of equipment we should buy is the rollers. The smaller ones. Because the little ones fit on all of our fields. I don't feel like we need to own... I feel like we need to own 2 different rollers for different size fields, although maybe in the future. Maybe that becomes a thing someday. I also feel like I'm going to need more lime. So let's look. Okay, it no longer says needs lime. Our pH is perfect. I just need to get turned around. I'm going to go get more. I'm going to fill up the lime again, and then I'm going to go do field 2. Alright, now we're going to get the plow. And I know it trims through the... I know it kind of cuts through the roof of the thing, but it's as good as it can get. And we're gonna plow up these fields to get rid of the tram lines, and then we'll see what else we can do. I don't think we can actually plant grass right now, so there's not really a whole lot of reason to consider that. Yeah, we can harvest grass now, but we can't plant until March. So we just got to get this guy plowed up, and the other 2, and then we'll be good to go, because there's no planting of anything right now. I'm thinking about the rollers. I might see if there's some like medium-sized rollers out there that are between the 2 huge and other sizes, because there really ought to be. I just haven't really looked into rollers in the mod section yet. It would be good to have kind of a middle of the ground roller that we can roll, especially so our grass fields don't show up as whatever. And given we've got some time, I know at least a couple of you watch these videos all the way through. Here's the question of the day. Should we save this for crops, or should we put grass here and do silage? And should we do that with, what should we do with those other fields on top of that? Because there are a couple. Options. Those are smaller fields, so it would make sense to make the new one up here right next to the farm into grass. Then we're just cutting 3 grass fields right in a row. It might make sense to retain this one for an actual decent sized crop, even even if the soil isn't the best and we're not going to get as big of a yield as we might have, we're still getting our 30% on that bonus, so there's no worries there. We're still going to be getting more than we would have. But right, what's the consensus there? Think about it. Let me know. All right, this is the last one of our new fields that needs plowing, just to get rid of the tram lines. We're not going to plow them all the time. I think the hoe helps us stay weed free. That and us actually doing the planting with that planter is a part of it. If I plant with a helper, we get weeds. If I plant myself, we don't. So obviously I should just do the planting, right? But with the plowing done, we're kind of at loose ends for January. We're also, time-wise, we're too far in to really move on to February, so I think we'll just actually go sell that wood and then call it a day. I'm gonna look into rollers, and next episode we can blaze through February and blaze right into March, where we'll be doing some planting and we'll actually need the rollers. Meantime, we're gonna drag this through our roof and get her plopped down right back over here. Right, where did I leave that? Oh, I left him over there, that's right. I remember now. Right here. I really haven't seen that many cars today. I mean, I guess nobody really comes down this road, but it's still interesting. Right, I'm not really all that good at this first person stuff. And this seems, for some reason it seems like it would be easier in real life. I mean, I could probably lean my head over, I could sit up. There's lots of different things that I could do in real life to kind of see better. Maybe giants could stand to partner with an eye tracker. There are a couple of different eye trackers. So, yeah, that would be kind of cool. We could turn our head, do that sort of thing. What are you stuck on? Oh, we have managed to totally wonk ourselves out by sticking our forks into the ground somehow. Right, well, this is not going to be the best loading job ever, but I guess it will do what it does. Angles are very weird once we're under the roof. And we're stuck again. Yay. We get these done, we can actually probably afford any rolls we want. I don't think the rolls are all that expensive. We gotta get stuff taken care of here. There we go. What do you think this is gonna pay out? Best loading job, but it's definitely not the worst one I've ever done. Let's have a look at our backstock. Right, 45, we're good for now. Latch them down and head over to the playground. And I will see you over there. Alright, here we are. Let's sell these. 43 grand, not bad. Not bad at all. Still need that rope though. I just don't know if I want to spend 300 grand on a whole rope factory. And if I get one close by, then I gotta find a place to put it. If I get the one over on the other end, then I gotta bring the wool down to it, which is not actually that terrible of a deal, since we'd only have to do it once in a while. Now, I am gonna bring the forklift over to load the wool when we do load it, because otherwise we have to load it with this thing, and we've all seen how great I am at using this thing. The forklift is definitely a better option. So for now though, we are done. Yes, I could mow and bale and all of that, but I'm not going to. Maybe we'll do that next episode in February. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will catch you next time.